played FNAF TD a lot. I think a tower doesn't really get a lot of respect or used a lot. Maybe because it's, I don't know, 55,555 Faz coins to get, making it the most expensive tower in the game. When someone asks me, is Trash Gang worth it? I question myself and I'm like, kinda. I mean, they're not a bad tower, but for 55,550 Faz coins, I don't think it's that worth it to get it unless you already have like almost every tower in the game. If you already have like almost every other tower in the game, then I'm like, yeah, might as well, right? Get it. Um, but Trash Gang might need a little help of buffing. In matter of fact, I think a lot of things of Trash Gang is fine. They have AoE. They have, I don't know, they have AoE. They have decent damage. The only problem they're really lacking is their cost and their range. So I'm going to tell you the good things about Trash King right now that doesn't need buff. Right now, I feel like the speed of Trash King right now does not need buff. Um, what they could do is maybe buff the range a tiny bit, or they can keep the range. The range, I don't feel like it's that much of a problem. I think the earlier stages of the range needs to be fixed, though. 100%. I feel like the dead zone is also fine. I don't think the dead zone needs to be higher up. I mean, it goes up to 9, so I don't think that's the problem. I think the normal range probably needs to be a bit uppy. Like it needs a little more range. Um, Not much though. I think most of the range in dead zone is fine. I feel like if anything that needs buffed is definitely the damage, and it needs to be cheaper. If it was a bit cheaper, like for example, right now it's like 13K to get all the upgrades. I don't think it deserves to be 13K. If you ask me, I think it needs to be at least 9 or 10K. Like around maybe the lowest being 9,750 um to level up completely. And then if everything was cheaper on Trash Gang, then I would say probably just keep it where it is. Or they can make it 10,000 Faz coins and probably buff the damage a decent amount. The max damage it does on the last upgrade is 40 damage, and the medium damage is 20, I think. So maybe what they could do, instead of 40 damage, they can go up to 60 or even 80. They attack every 1 second. That's why I think the speed doesn't need to be upgraded. If anything, the damage needs to be upgraded. Because right now it's level 4 can take out the mini bosses, maybe like uh, nightmare mode, like Chica, Endo, blah blah blah, all the stuff. I believe a level 3 Trash King right now can take out Endo if in a good spot, or get them yo enough where you order one. Um, you're gonna have like a health inspector anyway, so it doesn't matter if you use like 20 HP or blah blah blah. But let's get to the main point. Trash King needs a buff. 100% needs a buff. Now, the buff I'm saying is not changing the tower completely, but more like I feel like it needs to be more damage and it needs to be cheaper. That's what I see in Trash King. If it was cheaper and did slightly more damage than what it's doing right now, like I said, level 5 right now, a max out Trash King costs 13,000 and it's doing 40 damage every 1 second. Oh, that's the max damage. Every 1 second max damage is 40. And every 1 second for medium damage is 20. Now, what they can do is buff the damage, the max damage being like probably 60 or 80, and then the medium damage being 40 or 60. Maybe not 60, but maybe 40 or 50 for medium damage. Maybe even 45 maximum because I don't want them to be too broken. So I think let's talk about the pros and cons. Let's start with the pros. Trash Gang right now has no placement limit. They have hidden detection on level 2, and um, they have AoE. That's technically the pros. Here's the cons. Earlier game, they don't do as much damage as other towers do. Um, it's a bit expensive for an early game tower for what it's doing. And I guess to say their range isn't the best at first. Their range starts to get decent when you get them to like level 3 to 5. 3 to 5 is when their range actually becomes pretty darn decent. Level 1 to 2, their range is not really the best. Keep in mind, it's 900 total cost to get it 1 to 2. Like you place it down, get upgrade it. That's $900 in total cost. So if an FTD wants to do anything to make Trash King probably be more used and not as hated on, I would say this is the right thing for them. They buff the damage, they lower the cost a bit for his upgrades, like at least make it a 11k or 10k. It does not need to be 13k. Even if you guys buff the damage, I still don't think it needs to be 13k to, get the maximum upgrade. If anything needs to be 11 or 10k on the dot. Maybe 11,650 at total upgrades. But yeah, I just thought I would say something about, FNAF TD needs to change this. If anything, it needs to change how Trash King is. I normally don't make videos like this. It's just I just thought I wanted to say something about Trash King, since it seems like Trash King is left there in the dust. Like, Trash King used to be a contract tower until they made it viable. Now, why they made it viable, I don't know. I don't know why it was a viable tower and not just be a contract again. Like, making it viable, that doesn't fix the process of they don't need buff. They're 55,555 fast coins. Like, if I was a new player and I look at that cost, I'm like, oh, Trash King should be the best tower in the game at that point, because be rival to like any other tower that would be costing that much, right? Because that's a really big number cost. Like, order they make the fast coins cheaper so you can get Trash King earlier, or they just, I don't know, buff it, because 55,000 fast coins, I'm not going to say the entire number again, but 55 fast coins is not worth for what it does. They're not a bad tower. It's just they have a lot of cons that hold them back to what they could do and what they could be. I think Trash King has the potential to be one of the best early game towers, if not the best early game tower in the entire game. They just need a little help. All they need is a damage buff, cost reduction, and a small range buff. If they fix those three traits they're missing, which is the damage, the range at the earlier stages, maybe you can buff the later stages if you want a bit more range, like 16 range or something, just so you can buff the earlier stages. And then the third one is the cost. The cost is way too expensive to upgrade Trash King. It costs 300 to place down, then it costs 600. It costs 600 to upgrade its level 2, and I think all you get is a tiny bit more medium damage, more range, and a hidden detection. It's not bad, but I feel like they need more justice. They cost 55,000 fast coins. They do need this. Trust me. They need this. But that's all I'm gonna say. I think I yapped a bit too much here, but I hope you guys enjoy what I have to say about Trash Gang. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.